Welcome to the Refine and Shine, the podcast dedicated to mastering the art of continuous improvement and optimizing every aspect of your life. I'm Angelina Rivera, your host, and together we'll uncover the secrets to refining our lives, our habits, and our processes to unlock our inner brilliance. Join us on Refine and Shine, where we'll delve deep into achieving more in life without the burnout and without all the stress. This podcast is your platform for a more fulfilling life through continuous improvement and personal growth. In each episode, I and a diverse array of guests discuss practical strategies for up-leveling every aspect of your life. From developing good habits and organizing your space to refining your mindset and personal goals, we're going to explore it all. Our guests share personal stories about the systems they've developed or systems they've used and the tweaks they've made in their lives when refinement was needed, allowing them to truly shine. Listen to Refine and Shine to learn how you can implement continuous improvement techniques in your daily routine, develop and maintain healthy habits that lead to success and satisfaction, organize your life to reduce the stress and increase your productivity, foster a growth mindset that propels you to new heights. My mission is to inspire you to take bold action, make positive changes, and become the best version of yourself. Whether you're aiming to elevate your career, nurture meaningful relationships, or enhance your overall well-being, Refine and Shine is your guiding light. With over 25 years of experience in continuous improvement, I help businesses streamline their processes, establish efficient work areas, and implement standard work protocols. I have trained over 600 individuals and teams in process improvement, optimizing workflows, and enhancing overall operational efficiency. Tune in every week as we embark on an enlightening journey, exploring paths to refinement and illuminating the way to shine in every area of our lives. Subscribe now and join us on this journey to polish your life and let your best self shine through. Thank you for joining us on Refine and Shine. Hello. Welcome everyone to another episode of Refine and Shine podcast. I'm your host, Angelina Rivera, and today is a milestone. I'm beyond grateful to celebrate with you today, this episode 58. It marks the 1-year anniversary of this podcast. So that's been 52 weeks of showing up, sharing our stories, walking through hard times together, and most of all, choosing growth. Whether you've been listening since episode 1 or recently found us, thank you. From the bottom of my heart, thank you. Now, if you're a math person, you're like, she just said episode 58 and she said 52 weeks. There were times when I did some bonus podcasts here and there that may have not actually dropped on the day of the week, which was Tuesdays. There was only one time I had to do it on a Wednesday due to a holiday and life. But every week for 52 weeks, an episode came out. Sometimes 2 episodes came out. And I just want to say thank you for that. As we go through it, though, I'm going to change some stuff for this next season. Just a little bit, not much right now. I'm making a small shift that aligns better with my own rhythm right now. And so starting now, new episodes will drop every Wednesday. And I like to call it your midweek check-in. So Wednesdays feel like a sweet reset, a time to pause, reflect, and just realign. You'll still get weekly episodes, don't worry. But I'll just be adding some solo bonus episodes as well. I gotten some feedback and people really love the little mini bonus episodes I do. So I'll drop those in every now and then. Those will maybe a longer podcast, just me talking. And those will just be some quick, honest moments where I'll share some tips, encouragement, and tools I use today in my own journey to refine and shine today. It's a constant battle. I'm constantly continuing to go through my own healing, continuing to tweak things in my life, because we're not perfect, and there's things that come up, and there's just life. Life is lifing, right? I'm just going to keep on swimming though. And so you're going to get a little bit more bonus episodes, and think of them as like I said, little check-ins for your heart, your habits, and your hustle. So new episodes will start coming out on Wednesday, starting, yesterday I released episode 57. Check that out. That's with Wendy. She shared a little bit about burnout, not just a little bit, but she talks about burnout. So listen to that, and we'll kind of keep going through. But so go ahead and check out yesterday's episode 57. It's Beyond Burnout, Reclaiming Your Power and Energy and Choice with Wendy. Check that out. But let's talk a little bit about why I started this episode, or why I started the podcast on July 9th, because I think it's important before we start reflecting on what this past year has been. If you caught episode 1, or if you haven't, go ahead back and listen to episode 1. The reason why I started the podcast on July 9th was because my podcast coach told me to release it on a date that had significance to you. And for me, that date was, well, I was going through, there's many dates that have significance for me, but July 9th is one of those dates. And I talk about that in episode 1, called Healing and Growth, the Power of Self-Care and Faith. And I reflect on one of the most challenging times in my life. And that was when discussed the loss of our daughter, Mariah. So Mariah, we lost just a little bit over 5 months of pregnancy. We lost her. I miscarried in early January, and her due date would have been July, but miscarried her. And it was just a very pivotal moment in my life. It was a very hard moment. And July 9th was her due date. And I found that celebrating or releasing this podcast, because it was a pivotal moment where I learned how to refine and shine. But I also want to share that through the loss of her, it's a full circle moment, right? So instead of always being sad that this is the day that we should have been celebrating our daughter's birthday, it helps me to learn that this is also the birth of my podcast. And so now here we are, 58 episodes later, full circle. I've learned that while some days they're going to carry grief, they can always carry growth. And today, instead of pain, I choose celebration. I choose to honor her by creating something meaningful and also healing. Not just for me, but also for you. Because the truth is that not every hard day has to stay hard forever. You can rewrite what a date means. You can hold joy and grief at the same time. And that's what I've learned over this past year. This has really been helpful. And I've learned this, and so I love to share that with you because it's been a full circle moment. I'm so excited though, through all of this, is that I actually hit a podcast every week. And I just want to highlight over the years some of the powerful episodes. I mean, we just didn't use it to fill time. We filled hearts. We welcomed courageous, bold, and vulnerable voices. And so many of them stood out. And I could go through and read all 57. But let me just kind of scroll through what some different episodes. We went through Embracing Growth and Healing, with my friend Mary, showing her journey to personal transformation. We had Advocacy, how to advocate for your children. My friend Stacy talked about her business and how her transformation with advocacy and wellness and how she uses that to help others. We talked about my friend Phyllis, her journey from nurse to Carefolio founder. She was 3 decades of nursing and turned that into a business where she went and talked about this product that she created, Carefolio, to help others that are going through that medical journey and things like that. It's a powerful health management tool. We talked about maximizing your time. I talked about that in several episodes. We talked about overcoming and connection, my friend Kathy's journey through the adoption process. My friend Cherry sharing her pain into purpose. She talked about, like some self-discovery that she had, and how she's using her personal story to empower others, especially women in challenging relationships. We also talked about the grief of her, she lost her son, all these things. We had Rinse and Run. It was Ian's journey of overcoming paralysis and inspiring others. My friend Cindy, her journey from motherhood to becoming a thriving business owner of a very successful daycare. I shared a personal a personal episode of The Power of a Good Cry. Shared some things that I was going through and how sometimes we just need to cry. We talked about breaking the silence. It was Oscar's path to mental wellness and advocacy. A father of autistic children, how he became an advocate, healed through his own trauma, created the King's Corner podcast, and how he's helping others with their mental wellness. We had Kim, one of my really good friends, Kim, her journey from hardship to a thriving enterprise. She shared what her family went through to losing everything to now having a thriving multi-million-dollar business. My friend Dana, how she went from classroom to fitness and her journey of resilience and positive persistence. We had Blaze Your Own Trail. It was my friend Jordan Mendoza, who talks about how the life that he grew up in and how he used that to create his own trail. It was real, it was raw, it was great. We had talked to my friend Robin. Robin shared about overcoming addiction, the faith community, and empowering others. We had my friend Gabby. Gabby talked about healing from trauma and empowering entrepreneurs to thrive in what she does. My friend Wendy, who's an apparel therapist, and about how you can transform your wardrobe in order to transform your life. My friend Laura Ard, we talked about her purpose, rediscovering her voice and purpose, and her strength from silence to strength, and just how she became a certified Christian life coach, helped women reclaim their voices, and she even now has her podcast business. I need to have her on again. She's went through a lot since we aired her podcast, and I'd love to share that again. We had my friend Kim Witzat, who is an advocate for change on drug safety loss and raising patient voices. She is an advocate for drugs and of making sure that the drug safety advocate. She has a powerful story, so powerful with her husband and the tragedy that she unfortunately had to go through. I had a episode on honoring our vets, and I had another one on enduring the messy middle and finding strength and joy in our journeys.
We'll be back after a quick break.
Feeling overwhelmed by endless to-do lists and constant distractions? You're not alone. Many professionals and entrepreneurs struggle with never-ending tasks that spill into personal time, difficulty prioritizing what's truly important, a lack of clear structure in their daily routines. Well, let me introduce you to your Unlock Your Time Potential program, an 8-week coaching program designed to help you reclaim your time and boost productivity. What you will gain is proven strategies to manage your day effectively, techniques to eliminate distractions and stay focused, tools to align your daily actions with your long-term goals. Ready to take control of your time? Join the waitlist today and be the first to know when enrollment opens. Don't miss the opportunity to transform your productivity and achieve your goals. Check out the link in the summary notes.
We had Design, Align, and Step into Opportunity with my friend Erin Reniger. It was so good. We talked about her journey and the retreats and all the things that she does. Check it out if you haven't listened to it, episode 23, because she's having another retreat. I talked about gratitude and connection for Thanksgiving. My friend Deborah, we talked about faith, hope, and finding positivity in life's challenges. It was so good about all the things in the challenging times that she went through. And she is like the queen of hope. She is the advocate of hope. I had my friend Jennifer on, who shared about gratitude and wellness and her inspiring journey, her personal growth and wellness. And she has rods in her back and all the things that she's overcame. I gave a little tips on planning your holidays. I had one on finding the joy in the struggles, because sometimes life is hard and we have to find that joy in through all the struggles that we go through. I had my friend As a Day on, talking about her journey to transformation,
She grew up in a very, very hard time, and how she just transformed and went through all the things that she went through in life. Her journey of overcoming bullying in high school and all the things, abusiveness and all the things, and how she's transformed that to be the woman she is today. We had my friend Melissa on, who was bedridden, and talked about breaking barriers and how her journey was, diagnosed with Lyme disease and what her life looks like today. We had my friend Kathy on, and her journey, how she became a certified life coach, a wellness and a podcast host. Talked about her, she went through some childhood trauma and abuse and all these things, and now is helping people heal through their journey. I sat down with my friend Darlene, and we talked about refining relationships and boundaries, healing and finding strength in adversity. Such a powerful episode. I had my friend Brisa on, Brisa Alfaro. She is a Ponzi stroke survivor, and she had locked-in syndrome, meaning she was locked in her entire body. It was like a 1% chance of survival. We broke her episode into two episodes, episode 35 and 36. She's also the American the 2025 American Stroke ambassador. So listen to that podcast, those two episodes. And then I had reflection, just on life lessons, little things like that. I had my friend Lisa, her share about her 200-pound weight loss in her coaching journey and all the things that she went through. Yes, I said that correctly. She lost 200 pounds and has a credible story of weight loss, but not only weight loss, but becoming a coach and all the journey and everything that she's went through. She now owns a fitness studio and so many powerful things that she has created. I had my friend Deborah on. She talks about her journey in fitness and family wellness. She became a karate mom to a gym owner, and all the things that she went through in life. I had my friend Lori on, who talked about self-doubt to self-belief, her journey to wellness and growth, and how she became the person that she is today and helps others with their mindset, and became a women's wellness advocate. I had my friend Monica on. She had a 150-pound weight transformation and created the Thrive Blueprint. I had another episode about life struggles, and life's not just life's not a straight line. We have our ups and downs, and shared about that. I had my friend Priya on. She's became a physician to full spectrum doula, and talked about how she created this Love Your Best Life LLC, and helps others, and now teaching others how to become a doula and all the things that she went through. I had my friend Elise on, who shared about elevate and intentionality, and she's doing these retreats, and she's talking about her powerful transformation and all the things that she had to go through in life, to get to where she is today. I had my friend Gina, and Gina shared about the Divorce Redefined. It's about healing and co-parenting and rediscovering who you really are. She has an incredible coaching business helping others through healing and co-parenting and all the things and she talks about how you can redefine life on your terms. I had my friend Robin on, another Robin, who shared about Simplify and Shine. It was about, Shine Pages, and how she created this powerful website for entrepreneurs. I talked about, finding strength in the unexpected. And then I had my friend Kelly on, who talked about journey to healing, boundaries and impact. She went through a lot of grief and a lot of loss. She lost her husband, her mother-in-law, all these things that had happened to her life, and how she changed that to create the dynamic healing. She used that pain to a purpose. I had my friend Anne on, who talked about people pleasing to purpose, and her journey of faith, forgiveness, and identity. I had my friend Megan on, who talked about having the courage, community, and starting over. And she shared about, her military service, her mental health struggles, co-founding a company, and all the things. I had my friend Teresa on, such a powerful episode. Her mission to heal through service. She not only lost her mom, she lost her grandma through suicide, and then her mom through suicide within a few days of each other, and became a licensed professional counselor, and uses this grief that she's went through and how to help others who have died, who've lost loved ones through suicide.
I had the crazy smart investing with Larry Steinhaus, how to build wealth with other people's money. Such a powerful episode and showing how his entrepreneur and he's an author and all the things that he's created. And, he's known as a crazy real estate investor. And then I shared about my, healing through grief, life after surgery. We lost one of our dogs. And then I had the right blend. It's creating that my friend Steph talked about, Steph Winger, and it's creating a life that moves you at your rhythm and how we go through these cycles and, just like the moon and the sun, and how we can use that to help us uh, have a better rhythm. And then the last episode, which I shared about a little bit earlier, was the Beyond the Burnout, Reclaiming Power and Energy and Choice with my friend Wendy. So I didn't go through every single episode, but these are just a few highlights of all the episodes that have been out there. So really just go through and listen to these episodes. And I'd love to hear a review of which ones you thought were your favorite or what you want to hear more of. We have some amazing guests coming out for season 2. So many amazing guests. All of my guests are amazing, and I just love to keep sharing those with you. I also just wanted to highlight something that I'm really proud of. I've always been a numbers person, and I try to bring in numbers when I can. But here's something that most people don't realize, and this is why I'm so, so happy. When we first started, and I've shared this on many of the podcasts, I was so reluctant. When I decided to start a podcast, I sat on it for a couple of years. Yes, a couple of years. And I was so hesitant to do it because I thought that nobody would listen. And then I learned that even if I have 3 listeners or whatever, I have stuff to say and I want to share. And I hear these people and I feel like I'm connecting because I hear their story and I want to connect them with you as my listeners. I want to connect and how do you hear their story? Because sometimes we can be so wrapped up in our own pain that we think, why God, why is all this happening to me? And, all of these things, and we don't understand that, maybe this is happening to us so that we can share with others, so that we can help others. And I think that that's so powerful behind Refine and Shine, is that we can go through all these things in life and it doesn't have to, all the negative things that we've been through doesn't mean that life is just horrible. We can use these as lessons to help others, as life is not always easy. And there are things that we've done or things that have happened in our lives, and some things we couldn't control. But when we can make decisions, was it the best decision that we made with the facts that we had at the time? And so there's all these things that I would love to share and want to keep sharing and having these people share their stories as well as me sharing some stories. But here's something that's something that's impactful. And I always talk about this, about the odds, against the odds. And I've kind of helped fight through that this year. Most people don't realize that only over 50% of podcasts don't make it past episode 10. Let me say that again. Over 50% of podcasts don't make it past episode 10. And only 20% make it to the 1-year mark. So thank you, people, for supporting me and listening and all the things. I don't share about this just for myself. I make it so that, I can help you. And you guys have helped me show up every single week. And I'm kind of proud of myself. I want to say, through surgeries, through grief, through burnout, busy seasons, big dreams, I think this is something to celebrate. And it's because of you, your support, your shares, your reviews, your messages. Thank you. Thank you so much, because I am truly thankful that I have been able to make it past this. Today is I made it past the 1-year mark. But as I close up, I just want to, a few things I want to share. I just want to share again about why I called it, my Shine Principles and my foundation for my podcast. It's not just about refining, it's about shining. So if you're new or just need this reminder, this podcast is rooted in my Shine Principles. S, show up every day, even when it's messy. Show up. H is have good habits. So hold space for that healthy habits and healing. I, intentionally pursue purpose and peace. So have intention throughout your day. Have intention for your purpose. N, so important. Never give up, especially when it's hard, because we are going to have those moments. We are going to have them. E, every day, celebrate your wins. no matter how small. These principles have carried me when I had nothing else. They continue to shape this space, and I hope that they will help shape you too. So what's ahead for year 2? Like I said, it's going to be weekly episodes on Wednesdays. I'm going to do some more solo episodes as well. Going to continue to have inspiring interviews from everyday people doing extraordinary things, and just more conversations about faith, fulfillment, and healing. And hopefully more of your voices too. I want to hear your stories, your wins, your refining moments. If you have something you want to share, just go to my website, my www.angelinarivera.com/podcast. There's a form on there towards the bottom. If you want to be a guest, if you want to have a story to share, please fill that out, that I can review it and have you on if you are interested. Maybe I don't know you yet. Maybe we haven't connected, and I would love to connect with you. So go ahead and leave that. So that way, that space is there, and I'll make sure I leave that in the show notes. But here's my final reflection too. If I can leave you, because I always tell my people, you got to leave me with one thing, right? Refine and shine. What's one thing? So if I can leave you with one thing that you can take action on today, it's this. Keep going. Keep going. Not everyone will understand your choices. Not every season will be easy. But the decisions you made with the information and the capacity you had at the time was the best decision you could make. You don't have to explain your growth. Just keep walking forward. Because your light, your shine, isn't for everyone to understand. It's for you and you alone. And if this podcast has helped you, and it has helped even one person step into their light, then it has been worth it. So here's to episode 58, to healing, refining, and shining, to the tears, the breakthroughs, the quiet victories. Thank you for being part of this community. I'll see you next Wednesday for your midweek check-in. Until then, keep refining, keep shining, and never forget your story matters. Thank you, everyone. Love you much.
Thank you for joining us on this episode of Refine and Shine. We hope you find valuable insights and inspiration to fill your journey of continuous improvement. Remember, the key to success lies in refining your processes and letting your inner brilliance shine. If you've enjoyed this episode, be sure to subscribe to the podcast and leave a review. Your feedback is greatly appreciated and helps us reach more listeners like you who are eager to refine and shine in all areas of life. Stay connected with us on social media for updates and additional resources and behind-the-scenes content. We love hearing from our listeners, so feel free to reach out with any suggestions, questions, or success stories you'd like to share. As we wrap up, remember that the power to transform your life lies within you. Keep striving for growth, embracing change, and seeking opportunities to refine your skills. Together, let's continue to shine bright and make a positive impact in the world. Until next time, keep refining and keep shining.